Hi, everybody. Joey's in the background already, but he has no control, so he's walking me through what I need to do. And by the way, hi, I'm Glenn. Glenn Tompkins, senior instructor here at VectorVest on our YouTube channel. And this is Trending Thursday. Woo-wee! This is Trending Thursday, and it's going to be a good thing. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. And not only that, let me know where you're tuning in from. All right? Let me know where you're tuning in from. I want the both of them, that you can hear me and where you're coming in from. And you know something? Since our Tampa 2 Day, man, we've got a lot more people showing up, which has been awesome. A lot of people got introduced to us on YouTube from our Tampa 2 Day, and a lot of people have now joined up, and that's awesome, and I'm glad. How many people here are new from our Tampa 2 Day, that you first saw us on our Tampa 2 Day? Type a 1 in the room. How many of you are brand new to the YouTube channel because of the Tampa 2 Day? Type a 1 in the room. Now, I got a couple of people from Israel. I got Yoshi from Israel. Kobe says VV Nation Israel. Paul's here from Belgium. Ooh-wee. I got Gulf Coast, Mississippi. You don't say Mississippi. You go Mississippi. Ooh-wee. Good afternoon, Dirk. Glad to have you here. Badger says, you're not new from the Tampa 2 Day. Oh, 2004. I should have read the whole thing. From the Tampa 2004. Mash is telling everybody to hit the like button. Trisha is here. Hi, Trisha, from Tennessee, St. Louis. Eton is from Israel as well. I got a couple of people here from Israel. That's an awesome place. Calgary, Vancouver, Calgary. A lot of, Joey, you don't remind me. I think one Thursday we really should do a segment of Trending Thursday, but utilizing the Canadian database. We got to do that. I keep saying that. We got to do that, but you don't ever remind me.
Let's pick a date and we'll.
Let's pick a date. What's next Thursday? What's the date for
next Thursday? But maybe one after that.
One after that. Okay, we're gonna pick a date, and we're going to do half portion U.S., half portion Canada. So for all of you guys that are here from Canada, we're going to, in the near future, we're going to do a VV Trending Thursday with both the U.S. and Canada. All right, look at this. Calgary, Alberta. I got Geneva, Switzerland. Massimo in Switzerland. That's awesome. 400 likes, and Joey will put barbecue sauce in Glenn's coffee cup? Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. No. I'll take the 400 likes, but not for that. All right. So I'm gonna put that. Look at that. 400 likes, and Joey will put barbecue sauce in Glenn's coffee cup. Oh, heck to the no. Got Paul from Amsterdam. That's gonna be awesome. Mark says, are you keeping your eye on the Gulf Coast for me? I've been in Central Florida for a minute or two. There we go. Raphael says, that sounds great. That doesn't sound great. All right. And Shabir says he's in for Canadian stocks. I think we're gonna pick. No, Joey, don't edge them on. Joey types in the room. He's gonna do that for free. All right. Now, with all of that, today's gonna be a good day. If you're brand new to the channel, this is your first time to the channel, or you still haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel. It's the only way we're going to get our channel to grow. We just hit 40,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for that. Totally appreciate that. You know, I'm going to set a strong goal for us. We need 10,000 more subscribers by the end of the year. Let's try to close out this year. Let's try to close out this year at 50,000 subscribers. That would be a good milestone for us. So I'm asking you guys, as VV Nation, to push us to tell people about what we do here on the channel. And I want you guys to make a concerted effort if you can. All right, something to consider. Send this link, the live stream link, out to people in your social circles to invite them to the live stream. If one person does that, we can get a lot of eyeballs in here. Just think about that. If we reach that goal, then Joey comes on camera. Ooh, I like that. That if we hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that Joey comes on camera. What do you think about that, Joey?
Nah.
He says no. He says no. All right. I will take a picture of Joey and put him in social media. I will put him out there if we hit 50,000.
75,000, I'll do Trending Thursday.
Joey says if we get to 75,000 subscribers, he will do a Trending Thursday. All right. So, again, hit the like button if you like the content. I have a lot of energy. Listen, I try to have a little bit of fun while we do this, but it's still all about making money in the market, all right? And I'm not doing a truffle shuffle. You had your chance for me to do the truffle shuffle during Patrick's trade for charity. Didn't happen. All right, so with that being said, let's get into what we're here to cover. I always start off Trending Thursday with what's going on in the market, and I think we're going to spend a little bit of time on that today with what's going on in the market. Why? Because the market's doing a little bit of up and down, up and down, up and down, but we have indicators within the VectorVest system that tells us the market is definitely oversold at this time. So let's spend a little time of explaining about what's going on in the market. When you look at the economy is still running hot. Why? Because inflation is high. Why? Because there was a lot of stimulus put into the economy to keep us rising higher, keep the economy strong while COVID hit. Well, now we're getting into year 2 of COVID because it hit officially in 2020, right? So we're now 2022, and COVID is still out there. We've had the Delta variant. We've got now the Omicron variant, and I've seen that there's another variant coming out of, what am I looking for? France, coming out of France. But now I've seen a lot of stories that are saying that the way that the virus is running, there's a lot of different variants that we don't even know about. All right? There's a lot of them. So with that being said, COVID's going to be around for a minute. It's not going to go away. It's not that you put on a mask, you get the vaccination, that it's going to go away. I will, for the sake of transparency, let you know that I am fully vaccinated. I have not taken a booster, but I am fully vaccinated. So masks going away or not going away and everything else that's going along, I think we all got to know that it's here. All right? It's here and it's going to stay. All right? I think we just need to get to that point. With that being said, governments are still trying to overcome the effects of what COVID is doing. Puts people out of work. It slows down productivity, the whole 9 yards. All right. And with all of that, I hear you, Adam. I hear you. With all of that going on, it is what it is, and we keep on moving. But the markets are still responding in a way that the government saw fit to put all of the stimulus into play. But it is what it is now. And inflation is, all of this starts to get into the issue that inflation is running hot. So with that being said, the Fed's job is to keep control over inflation. What are they going to do? We're going to start raising interest rates. So they come out, they said that they were going to start doing that starting in March. And with that being said, the market's going to respond adversely. Why? Because we're human, we're investors in the market, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Investors are fickle people. One day we like you, the next day we don't like you. The interest rates are going to rise and the market's going to respond by going down. They're not going to like it. But even with raising the interest rates from where they are right now, even if we get 3, 4, 5 interest rates increases, we're still going to be very low as compared to a lot of years past. So I want people to understand that and wrap their heads around that from an interest rate perspective. But the market's going to respond. It's going to say, no, we don't like this, and it's going to go down. Are we going to go down into correction territory? Possibly. Are we going to go into a recession? Possibly. But it's going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So now let me tell you about the other side of the whole scenario. The other side of it is that earnings are still going up on stocks. And for us, in order for us to be in a bull market, companies still have to meet or exceed their earnings expectations. Adam says $9 trillion on the balance sheet. Back to the old good days of the Volcker 3, 4 Fed funds rates. I'm happy. Finally, market will get back to normalcy. Fundamentals, earnings, thank God, 5 to 6 is normal rate. Well, I don't know. I think that the inflation rate being as high as it is, Prices go up. Prices go up. People have a hard time dealing with inflationary prices unless they get raises in pay. So it takes me to another side of what's going on in the market, the job side of the market. So we know that inflation is high because the government did everything that they could do to bolster the economy. It did its job. Now inflation's running, and now we're going to have to bring back down or start to raise interest rates. Now the jobs market is another whole thing in and of itself. A lot of people are not going back to work. A lot of people are saying that in order for us to work, we've got to get better pay. And that's been something running through our economy for the longest time, even to the point that you look at places like McDonald's now paying $16 an hour, number one. Number two, giving sign-on bonuses. I don't know how many of us in this particular point in time ever thought that a fast food chain would offer a sign-on bonus, but they're doing that to get people to work. All right, and I told my wife, I said, you know something, you go out to the restaurants, the wait staff are inundated because they don't have people working. I said, you know something, I'm going to go out and wait tables. I could make me a lot of money on this as a side hustle to wait tables because I'd be working and people would love that I'm there to work, right? So in looking at that, talking about side gigs, there's another layer to the whole jobs thing. I looked at the applications, the number of applications for people to work for themselves. The entrepreneurial mindset has exploded. Due to COVID and a lot of people having to work from home and stuff like that, the whole applications for small businesses was over 5 million plus last year. A lot of people want to get out from under working for the man, right, Joey? Working for the man. They don't want to do that. So a lot of people are in that mode of, I can do it on my own. Now, when you look at that tier, those jobs or those companies that are now being, initially started up, you're not going to know for the next 1 to 3 years how many of those companies stay around. I think that historically, a new entrepreneurial company has got to wait for its first 3 years before it even starts making money. It may be even 5 years before it starts making money. So I'm just keeping that in mind as well. Problem is, 2 generations of people who invest only in 0% rates and unlimited QE is normal. It's not. So younger people need to understand that. I won't deny that we are in a different mindset of working class people. I think the generation that we're in right now, and I hate to say it this way, had a little easier. There's been a lot of quantitative easing to ease the burdens that they were going through right now. But that gets on to a whole nother subject, another whole can of worms that I really don't want to open up here. All I'm really trying to get you to understand is that there's different things within our economy that are at work that are either going to help our economy get better or make it so that it pulls back, but you need to be prepared for it. Interest rates definitely are going to be the catalyst to push the market further lower. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the job situation, I think, is going to get worse before it gets better, but we'll see how that all handles out as well. All right, so these are just things that I'm putting out that are affecting the market that you need to know about. Because you look on our homepage, there's a lot of red here. Today, we've got a little bit of a rebound. We've got all yellow here. I'm looking at our advanced decline. I'm looking at how many stocks are going up, going down compared to where it started out this morning. Look at the little bit of a decline. Look at a little bit of the decline going into the closing hours today. That's going to show up on our market timing graph. For those of you who are brand new to the VectorVest software, we do time the market. That's what we do. We don't guess or speculate where the market is going. We follow the trend of the market and we keep our subscribers on the right side of the trend of the market at all times. Whether bullish or bearish, we're not afraid to tell you when it's not the right time to buy stocks. You're going to find a lot of other services that are out there that will always tell you, go buy stocks, go buy stocks, go buy stocks. You'll hear the words, buy, buy, buy. Oh, Where did I hear that from? I don't know. I heard it on TV or something, right, Joey? I don't know where that came from. But there's people that won't tell you when it's not the right time to buy. Hikem says huge bearish normal divergence on the daily with the MACD scary. All I'm telling you is just keep your heads up. So hold on. Before I get into our market timing graph, here's all of the major indices. They're all up. A couple of them were up over 1% earlier today. Look at this. They're pulling back. They're all still in the green, but the bears still have control for the most part, pushing the market further down. Here's our indicators, the buy to sell ratio and MTI. I'm not going to get into deep detail here. If you are a subscriber to the VectorVest software, we teach you how to use these indicators to know when the market is overbought or oversold. And right now, the market is still oversold. All right, the market, well, the buy to sell ratio was below, I don't know what value. Did it get down to 0.20? I know the MTI is showing us that we are oversold. So let's do this. Let's go to our market timing graph. All right, this is the movement of over 9,000 stocks, folks. This is the movement of over 9,000 stocks. And people will say, yeah, I did a video this week on the big pullback in the market. It wasn't yesterday. It was the day before, right, Joey? Was it yesterday or the day before? Joey?
Yesterday?
It was yesterday. I did it yesterday?
Oh, your market? No, the day before.
It was the day before. So I did a video on this date where the market was down, big down day. How about we got more follow through yesterday and we get a little bit of a rebound today? But look at the big wick at the top of today's candle. That's a bearish influence on that candle. It's an open candle, which means the price is higher than the open, but a lot of bearish pressure, selling pressure on this candle up day, but no follow through in that it wasn't able to take out the prior day's candle. So it's an inside candle. And you know something, if I really want to see the market start to move up from a level of a low or a level of a bottom, which I'm looking for a bottom by way of our indicators, but I don't know when a bottom is going to happen until the market stops going down and it starts going up. So it started going up, but it wasn't able to overtake the prior day's candle. That's not big confirmation of an up day today. Hopefully, does everybody in the room understand that? Type a 1 in the room if you understand that. Type a 1, and if you totally disagree with what I'm saying, type a 2 in the room. If you understand that, yes, we've got an up day, but it's not a real confirm because we couldn't take out the prior day, type a 1. If you totally disagree, type a 2. I want to know where your head's at because my job is to show you how to effectively trade in this market, folks. And it's not an easy market. Yes, from this high, are we moving lower? Absolutely. But what is the market doing every so often? A little bit of a rebound. If I'm trying to play contra ETFs or short the market, I get killed right there. Then we go, okay, fine, we're going to go short again. Then this happens. I get killed on my contras on all of my stocks that I'm selling short. And could that happen again? It could, but I want you to also see something else. Look at that rebound to a lower low. Look at that rebound to a lower low. The market definitely is getting to a point where it's getting oversold. What do though? You wait for an opportunity for the market to start to rise. Now, Glenn is going to speculate. One thing that I don't do very often, but I am going to speculate a little bit. I think that we get one last hurrah before the Fed starts raising interest rates in March. Why? Because the market can only go down so far and be oversold and stocks getting beaten up before they have to rise. Why do they have to rise? Because the market, when there's the blood in the streets and stocks getting beaten up and they get down to low in price, people are going to buy. People are going to buy. All right? Now, you're going to need a little bit of catalyst for that to happen. All right? I don't know what the catalyst is to make that happen, but I will say that the market will have one last hurrah. This is Glenn talking. This is my own, and I don't do this very often, but this is my speculation in that I think we get one last really good bounce moving higher before interest rates rise. Now, as interest rates start to rise, it's going to take time for the stock market and for stocks to get that feeling in their earnings reports. I still think that earnings are still good. We're still in a bull market. We're in a big, deep bear run in a bull market. As long as earnings are still going higher, we're going to stay in a bull market. As the market gets to that point where it gets further and further lower or interest rates start to affect the market to the downside, earnings will be affected. That's when we go into a bear market. All right, where should it be for, Khan says, where should it be for the market to be taken out? When you say for the market to be taken out, for the market to start rising, I need to see the market stop falling. I'm looking at these levels of support. I need these levels of support if the market's going to start rising, to start bouncing off a level of support and start moving higher. I probably need a couple of days of bounce before I start to see that. All right. Salt Shaker says, hope so. I need a bounce to get out of trap positions. Now I like that. That's an honest statement. None of you should ever be in trapped positions. Let me tell you why. Within the VectorVest software, the slowest, most conservative market timing call we have is the confirmed calls. And when I look at that, Salt Shaker, from a long-term position, you see that red arrow right there on 11/22 of 2021? That would have kept you out of being in trapped positions. Does that make sense to you, Salt? And to everybody who's new to the channel, and this is not something that I'm making up on the fly, these calls are etched in stone. They are our footprints in the sand. I can go back in time to any point in time and show you what our call said. But to everybody in the room, to include Salt Shaker, this is specifically for you, would that have helped you? Now, I'm not trying to tell you after the fact and smush it in your face and tell you that VectorVest would have gotten you out and saved you money. I'm answering a question, or I'm addressing a statement that says, I need a bounce to get out of trapped positions. You need to have some semblance of market timing to get you out of a stock or a group of stocks at the right time. I'm okay with interest rates. I remember when it was 16. I'm with you. And Maria, this is why I said, no matter how many times the interest rates go up this year, we're going to get nowhere near historic highs on interest rates. All right, so I'm just putting that out there. Now, I know I spent a lot of time on market timing today. I think it's that important because I think that all you folks out there who support the VectorVest channel need to get the value out. And you know something? You don't pay to come to the channel, but there's a lot of value in you coming here, and that's why we want you here, and that's why I take the time to do what I do. It's because I want to keep you here. I don't want you to stop buying, whatever. I want you to get some value out of it. You know why I want you to get value? Because your time is worth something, and I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste it. All right, so that's very important to me. All right, I want you to know that. All right, so this is the market timing picture. Let's go back out to my news stories, and let's take a look at, I've only got one story. We already know what the inflation story is. We already know what the interest rate story is. The other side of the deal that the Fed has to do is talk about jobs. U.S. jobless claims came out today, 286. They were looking at about 200,000. I think there it is. An increase of $20,000 from the $20,000 from the previous week. A lot of people are looking for jobs, but you know what they're looking for? They're looking for higher wages. They're looking for the opportunity to work from home now. I think a lot of people have the benefit of working from home, especially from a child care perspective. Right? So I think that, I don't think everybody's still going to hire brand new people with them working from home. But I think a lot of people got into the mode of working from home because of COVID. All right. And they're looking for higher wages. This is the sixth bounce in Canada market timing graph since August. And each time, what has it done, Tom? Has it been able to really keep going? All right. Adam says, unreal. If I was offered $15 to $16 an hour as a younger person, I would jump for that job. Again, I'm with you. I totally hear you. Yes. And Les asks, is anybody playing BBIG? I got into it last Thursday because of Trending Thursday. I got into it last Thursday. I made a good little piece of money on it. I took half off, and I'm still sitting in like 450 shares. All right. I got that from here. A lot of people were talking about the big short squeeze on it. I looked at it, and I looked at it in the VectorVest software, and I decided to take it as a day trade. All right. So I put that out there. All right. So jobless claims rose. So, again, those are all three things that affect the market, whether to the good side or to the bad side. Let's go to the viewers tab. Let's go to the watch list viewer. Let's go to trending Thursday, 1/20/22. The two indicators that I look from time in the market, if you are a subscriber, I look at the VectorVest composite, which is the index arithmetic average of over 9,000 stocks. And then for those of you who are not subscribers, we look at the S&P 500. Let's go take a look at, say again?
Change your scene.
Oh, I sure can. There we go. Thank you. Let's go take a look at the graphs on the both of these. I put this on a 3-month graph. Again, we looked at the VectorVest composite inside day, but this is telling me a big story right here. Look at the big wick on today's candle. There's a lot of selling pressure, even on an open up day today. Let's go look at the S&P 500, same scenario. In the S&P 500, though, I had a trend line. It broke down through the trend line. Let's go put on graph layouts. GET. Let's go to my swing trade. Now I've got a 20-day exponential moving average, and then I also have on something. What else do I have on? GRT stop. I got a stop price. I'm going to take the stop price off. So there we go. From a swing trade perspective, looking at a 20-day exponential moving average, just general rule of thumb. When the S&P is above it, good time to be long. Below it, short. And look at that. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Get in, just timing. That makes it tough to play the market to the downside, and it also makes it tough to hold stocks long term. I'm working on the short squeeze now, but it's not in VectorVest. All right, that's fine, Maria. All right, Jay is leaving. Have a good day, Jay. I love how you get it. You have to be, in my opinion, in 2 to 3 10-year market cycles really to really learn. Spot on, Glenn. I appreciate that. All right, so from that perspective, the spiders below the 20-day exponential moving average, I can draw a line here too. I'm going to eyeball a level of support right about here. Look at that. On the S&P 500, about 450.30. Look at that. That's a good level of support on a 3-month graph. Where did you do? Yesterday, we got into that zone and bounced up, but no follow-through today, just like on the VectorVest composite. A lot of selling pressure. But I still think that prior to the Fed starting to raise interest rates in March, that we get a big hurrah, we get one last hurrah. We'll see what happens. Again, that's my speculation. All right, so that's on the market. Let's get to my next story. Oh, what's moving? What is moving right now? Anybody? What's moving right now? What sector is moving? Type it in the room. What sector is moving right now? I want everybody to type it in the room. Everybody. Are you leaving, Mark? Have a good day, my friend. What sector? I want to see where y'all, if y'all been paying attention to what's going on in the market. What sector? There you go, Salt Shaker. Oil, Petro, energy. Energy, but mainly petroleum. Oil, there you go. Mainly petroleum. All right, there you go. So I'm happy that you were on board with that. Here's a big stock that everybody knows about that's moving. Synovus Energy received its 3rd buy in a row. This is from TipRanks. I've got a lot of different sources that I look to get the news for. Trending Thursday, I go through a lot. This just came out today. It's got its 3rd buy in a row. The stock is moving. I've only got one story on that whole space, but I got other stocks that I want to pay attention to. I'm looking at 21 stocks, and these stocks are sorted in my watch list for today by our master indicator VST. The stock that has the best combination of value, safety, and timing, or VST, will go to the top of the list. This stock is moving so well that it is the number 1 stock in my list of 21 stocks. That should tell you a lot right there. It's my number 1 stock in my list of 21 stocks. All right, what else am I looking at in this list? CNQ, look at where it sits. All right, what else is in my list? FANG, look at where it sits. And Matador, bang. This sector is so hot that these 4 stocks are within the top 5 of this list. How many of you are investing in petroleum stocks? Type of 1 in the room. How many of you are not investing in petroleum stocks? Type of 2 in the room. How many of you are investing in petroleum stocks? Type of 1 in the room. I'm in SJT for the purposes of being transparent. When you guys bring up a stock that I'm in, I will always let you know if I'm trading it or not. I am in SJT right now. Look at that. A lot of you are playing petroleum, and that's a good play right now. Now, the thing about that is that the market's direction affects 80% of the stocks in the market. Be careful with these petroleum stocks. They can only go against the market for so long. That's my opinion as well. All right, what goes up must come down. Spinning wheels turn around. At some point in time, I'm thinking that this space will succumb to the direction of the market and start to pull back. So I'm letting you know, folks, just be careful. Which 2 are Canadian? I know that CNQ is Canadian. What's the other one that's Canadian? All right, but all I'm telling you is just be careful on them. Let's go take a look at the graphs of them. Let's put it on a 3-month graph. I got it on my swing trade. Wow, look at CVE. Now, if you're not in it, now let's talk about CVE and Canadian. Thank you, Monica. Thank you. Now, let me tell you about, what did I tell you about? Just be careful with these. What is this stock doing right now? It's consolidating a little bit. If you're going to think about getting into these stocks, put it on an end-of-day graph. I'd go 5 cents higher than the high. Put it as a stop order. If it doesn't hit, then you know something, you did the right thing by not buying it. But if you are in it, it's nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average. Volume looks good. Here's earnings and earnings growth. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. It looks great. I love it. What's the next one? Wow, CNQ looks, and what is it doing? Consolidating a little bit over the last 3 days. If you're in it, leave it alone. If you're not, you're looking for 12 cents higher than the high. Love the volume, love the earnings and the earnings growth. What else? FANG, pulling back a little bit more than the other 2. It was down for 2 days in a row. Nice little rebound. On an end-of-day graph, I'd go 12 cents higher than the high. Watch the volume, not nearly as good. Love the earnings and the earnings growth. And the last one is Matador, a lot more volatile, and the graph doesn't lie, just like Shakira's hips. A graph doesn't lie. The stock's price is a lot more volatile. If that's not your deal, then I would look at one of these. Look at that. Those stocks are good. I've given you 4 stocks in this space to keep your eyes on, now knowing that space is rock and rolling. All right. I'm not sure. In regards to Conance, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens with that. Thinking of selling CVE, but keeps confirming continuous. So, Adam, let it be. Let it be. Oh, let it be. Let the stock come to me. Let it be. All right, let it be. Joey, did you like that? Joey thought it was crickets. I like it. All right, I like that. Don't be afraid to let the stops come to you. All right, sing it, my friend. That's right, Adam. Let it be. For real, let it be. Don't be, if it's moving, if it's doing what you want to do, let it. But have a stop in place. All right, let me get into my next story. My next story is on mining. Now, before I get into mining doesn't always mean gold. I think as soon as you start talking about mining stocks, everybody's like, yeah, let's go to gold. It's not always about gold. As a matter of fact, this is a stock that everybody knows about that's been rocking and rolling. It happens to be an iron ore company. So just because I talk about mining, and mining right now is up like 11% over the last 2 weeks. When I talk about trending stuff in Trending Thursday, I want to see what's trending higher. Now, there's going to get to a point when the market comes crashing down that Trending Thursday is going to have to change a little bit, because we're not going to be seeing bullish stocks that are trending, and that's when we're going to start looking at stocks to sell short or contra ETFs. I'm going to go with the flow, and I'm not going to always tell you that there's a bull market out there everywhere. That's not the case. There's times to be bearish in the market. You know why? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table, because there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing is done. So when I look at all of these things, you got to know when it's the right time to buy into all of these things, and it is what it is. Glenn, when to use jailbreak? Imanu, when I come off of a bottom. When I come off of a bottom. I've got nothing telling me that we're at a bottom yet. So when you look at jailbreak, when you look at any kind of a bottom fishing scenario, you need a blast off phase when the market stops going down and starts going up at a trajectory to the upside. Unless that's happening, you don't try to outguess the market, because every time you do, the market has a way of humbling you each and every time. Have a good day, David. All right, so Vail is my stock in the mining space. Again, that sector is up over 11% over the last 2 weeks. In 2020, however, Vail was bested by another nickel company, blah, 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 blah. This is the story. We're going to analyze the stock in the VectorVest software. So Vail is my story, or my stock that I got a news on, but I've got several other stocks I want to look at. What am I looking for? In the mining sector, PIBLF. Look at that. So out of the top 5 so far within my 2 stories, I've got my top 5 stocks already taken care of. What else is in this space? Impu. Look at that. Platinum. What else? Now remember, neither one of these are gold. And my other one is Vail. None of these are gold stocks, but every time you hear the word mining, most people start going and say, oh, is it time to buy gold? I'm not telling you that it's the right time to buy gold, but there's other stocks that are in the mining space that are not gold. Now, as far as stocks to look at, I'll see if I've got time at the end of the day to check those out for you, Imanu. All right? So here's my 3 stocks, and now I'm still in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm still in the top 8 stocks within my first 2 stories. That gives some credence behind these stocks, especially if the sectors are trending higher. I'm giving you good stocks to take a look at. Notice in my top 8 stocks, they're all buy recommendations. Now, just because they're buys doesn't mean it's the right time to buy, but these sectors are moving, and I'm giving you some good stocks within a trending sector. Let's right-click, view the stock graphs. Let's peep them out. Put this on a 3-month graph. Whew, look at PILBF, Pilbara Minerals. Look at that run up, nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average. What's it doing? Again, what goes up must come down. Be careful. Even though these sectors are moving higher, at some point in time, they're going to probably succumb to the market. When do you get in? In this case, 5 cents higher than the high. The volume is okay. I'd like to see more rising volume when a stock is moving up, because volume is conviction. But I do like the earnings, and I like the earnings growth. Next one. Woo! This stock is all over the place. DA. It's all over the place. And be careful with stocks like this. As quickly as they can gap up is as quickly as they can gap down. All right? So just be careful with that. And if you're not into watching a stock gap down like this, you don't play this stock. All right? Watch the earnings. The earnings per share and earnings growth are not nearly as good as looking at PILBF. And let's go to the third one, Vail. Vail is a little jumpy as well, but definitely moving higher, nicely staying above our 20-day. But look at the earnings and earnings growth. So I do like the price action on Vail, but I like the price action and the fundamentals behind PILBF. If you guys found that useful in being able to look at 3 stocks in a hot sector and be able to make a decision like that, type a 1 in the room. That is the purpose behind having a tool in your back pocket to help you to make these kinds of decisions. Folks, I've showed you a sector that's moving, 3 different types of stocks within that sector, and look how quickly I can discern and say, hey, maybe it's PILBF, the stock to pay attention to. All right, if you felt that that was worth your time and valuable to you, hit a 1 in the room. Not only that, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel, and it's only going to be because of content like this that you like that we'll be able to do that. All right, let's go to my next news story. All right, next story is going to be on internet stocks. Internet stocks is up over 3% in the last 10 days. Now, the difference between Internet stocks and all of the other two sectors I looked at is a lot of the internet stocks are NASDAQ stocks. All right, are NASDAQ stocks. These are stocks that are driving the NASDAQ higher. And on good up days, what tends to lead the charge is NASDAQ stocks. So that's the case. Just putting that out there nonetheless. Facebook may be forced to respond to Microsoft's acquisition of Activision. We're going to talk about that as one of my stocks of interest today. So Microsoft bought Activision, WoW, and all that other stuff included. This is all part of being able to take action or more, take advantage of what's more available in the metaverse. I did a metaverse video. If you haven't already seen it on our YouTube channel, 7 metaverse stocks for a well-diversified portfolio. If you haven't watched it, please, Joey, put the link for that if you can in there. I'm gonna say just something. I think that everybody needs to watch that video, especially if you're interested in metaverse stocks. Not only that, we have a watch list that breaks down all of the different facets of the metaverse in the VectorVest software. What else? Our Netflix shares headed to $7.50. This is an opinion piece, came out a couple of days ago. We're going to analyze that in a second. All right, so 2 stocks in that space that are in the NASDAQ 100. Let's go take a look at where they are. Facebook, well, it's in the top 10. What else is in here? There is Facebook. There is Zynga and TTWO. Take-Two bought Zynga. These are 2 stocks. Zynga was a strong stock in that space, also in the metaverse. And what's my last one? Netflix. All right, so now the internet stocks didn't move up nearly as fast as my other 2, as mining and petroleum. Look at where the stocks fall. All right, they're still fundamentally, for the most part, sound stocks, but look at where they fall. The other stocks that I've looked at are much better. I also rest Shiba Inu with the benefit from this deal. Now, Shiba Inu, I think overall crypto is going to play a big role in the metaverse because any transactions that are done in the virtual world will have to be done by cryptocurrency. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I still think that the metaverse has some years before it really takes off, but I think a lot of preparation. It's still in its infancy, and there's still money to be made in a lot of the different stocks within the metaverse universe. So just keeping that in mind. Let's go take a look at these stocks. These are my internet stocks, right? Yep. Let's go view the stock graph. Boom, boom, boom. Put this on a 3-month graph. Let's go take a look. Whew. Facebook, which is now Meta Platforms. So the space is moving, but look at Facebook. Facebook's in one big channel. This is a good trading perspective, trading off of the retracement from resistance, playing the bounces off support back and forth, but a big channel. Earnings starting to rise again, but not nearly as much. Earnings growth is falling. So from a fundamental standpoint, be careful with Facebook. Zynga got bought. All right, this was a strong stock prior to getting bought. Take-Two bought it. There's Take-Two after the buy. Look at the rise in Take-Two. I like that they had the wherewithal to buy into Zynga. And look at that. Now nicely above the 20-day. Watch the wicks at the top. Again, a lot of this is because of what's going on in the market. Remember, the market's direction affects about 80% of the stocks in the market. These are getting hit a little bit with big wicks at the top of the candles. But look at the earnings. Gotta love the earnings. And Netflix. I heard Netflix just raised their rates again. I'm a Netflix. Joey, do you have Netflix? Oh, my gosh. Bashir.
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay, stop taking so long to answer.
That's my fault.
Bashir says, the market timing is being yellow. Can I buy energy stocks today? And the answer to that, to Bashir, is energy is moving against the trend of the market. I will tell you to be careful with them for that reason. But if they're moving, put in a buy stop order, either 5 or 12 cents higher than the high. But be careful. Be careful with all of those petroleum stocks, folks, because they will come down at some point. So can you buy it today? Only if the stock is warranting being bought. Now, Netflix, Everybody, and Netflix took off during the COVID because a lot of people binge watch stuff because they had to be stuck at home. That's gone off a little bit. You know why they're raising prices? Because they're falling off. So they need to make up that money somehow, and knuckleheads like me still will pay. I think if they charged me $50 a month, I'd still pay. I'd still buy Netflix. And they're ramping up, their content. Think about it. It takes money to run all this stuff. So they raised their rates, but it's falling. Be careful. I wouldn't buy it now. All right, even though it's a NASDAQ stock, I still wouldn't buy it now, right now, currently below the 20-day exponential moving average. All right, let's get out to my next story, moving right along. My next story is on Aerospace and Defense. That sector is up 7%, over 7% over the last 2 weeks. So every sector that I've talked about in Trending Thursday is definitely rising higher. That's important because I want to get you in, just like Bashir's question about even though energy is rising and the market timing is yellow, is it still okay? The sector is moving, Bashir. I would let the stocks let me know if it's okay to buy. I would let the stocks let me know if it's okay. Now, Lou says, Bashir, I'm holding cash and waiting. Anything can happen. Oil is already high. And again, if you feel that it is topped out or it's too high to buy, don't buy. I'm okay with that. All right, I'm totally okay with that. But if the sector is rising as much as, what did I say, 26%, Lou? That's huge. I'm not gonna ignore that. How about that? I'm not going to ignore that. Oh yeah, Netflix is bringing out earnings tonight. There's Intuitive Surgical is bringing out earnings tonight. A few big name companies have earnings today. All right, a few big name companies have earnings today. All right. In the space of aerospace and defense, keep your eyes on Boeing, folks. Boeing is trying to come back to life. Back to life. Back to reality. I think they're trying to come back to life. A couple of things are going on with Boeing I've covered in the last couple of weeks in Trending Thursday. One, Allegiant believed that they agreed to buy 50 of their 737 MAXs. One. Two, China is looking to buy some of the 737 MAXs. That's going to be huge for them. And three, Icelandair, this is another story, announces a lease agreement of 2 additional Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. So after all of the bad PR that came with the crashes of 2 of their planes, looks like they're getting back on the way. All right, Romeo says, Glenn agreed. Energy, huge run. I have been taking some profits. And there you go. I'm of the mindset, folks, it's okay. It's okay to still buy, but do it carefully. Because it has run, because that space has run, do it carefully. All right? I'm not telling anybody to back up the truck and go still get into petroleum. I still like the space because it's running and it's rocking. And I always want you to be in the stuff that's running and rocking. But I'm also going to tell you to be careful. I'm also going to tell you to be careful. So that's on Boeing. Let's go take a look at some of the other stocks that are in that space. Northrop Grumman is in that space. What else is in that space? Where's my stocks? What is that? There it is. TDY Teledyne is in that space. Boeing is in that space. And General Dynamics is in that space. So Boeing being so beaten up is in a space that's starting to run. It's going to take a little time for Boeing to catch up. All right, but I'm looking at things like the price to the value. Boeing is so overvalued, but that's because of the bad PR they got. The value, they got so devalued during that time when the planes crashed. But they have positive earnings and they're growing their earnings at a clip of 20%. I'm telling you to keep your eyes on Boeing. I'd look at General Dynamics. Overvalued, upside potential, not there. It's a safe stock. General Dynamics tends to meet or exceed their earnings expectations. They have $12.47. They grow their earnings at a clip of 6%. So big companies that are slow in going up in price don't tend to grow their earnings at a big clip. General Dynamics, look at that. That was General Dynamics. How about Northrop Grumman? On the same level, been around a long time, growing their earnings in single digits, but it's favorable. it's positive. And then Teledyne, 421, 462. Stock is undervalued, good upside potential. This stock should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 49%. Safe, it's going up. Positive earnings, growing their earnings at 25% a year. Let's go take a look. So Teledyne looks good on paper. Let's go take a look at the graphs. Bring up a 3-month graph. Wow, Teledyne, that's Northrop. Now, what I like about Northrop Grumman is the above 20-day exponential moving average. Another good thing about this aerospace and defense space is that a lot of government contracts are being picked up by these companies, especially for the military. Northrop Grumman looks good. Look at that, running up high. What's it doing, though? A lot of these stocks that are going against the trend of the market, folks, are doing what? Moving sideways. This is why I tell you to be careful. So, yes, these sectors are running. These stocks look good. But the graphs do tell you the stories that they are starting to move sideways. If you're in them, don't be afraid to take some profits off the table. And if you're not in them, make sure that they're running higher than the high. I don't like the earnings per share, and I don't like the earnings growth on it. Interesting, right? Let's go to the next stock. Teledyne. Again, it looked good on paper, but look at the graph. The graph is very topsy-turvy, up and down in a big channel, currently not above the 20-day exponential moving average. I do like the earnings and the earnings growth. This stock's got good upside potential. Relative value at 1.49. It's got good relative value, and it's a safe stock. It's just in a channel. It's got to get out of its own way. Let's go to the next stock, which is General Dynamics. Looks good. What's it doing in a sector that's rocking? It's moving sideways. Folks, I can't impress upon you enough that even in these trending sectors, that a lot of these stocks are exhibiting the same characteristics of they've run, and if you're going to get into them, go, in this case, 12 cents higher than the high. All right? I can't express that enough. And then we look at Boeing. Boeing, I think, is on a resurgence. It is clearly above the 20 exponential moving average. I definitely have an uptrend on the stock. Let's draw a freehand line. I definitely have an uptrend, connecting the lows. Look at that. I definitely have an uptrend on the stock. Let's make that a little darker so you can see it. Yeah, I got an uptrend on the stock. Let's just keep our eyes on it. I know you're trying. What do you need, Joey? Need me to click on that?
No, I'm just thinking about it.
Okay. All right, so I got the uptrend on it right now, even with today's, it fell yesterday. Look at the selling pressure on it. Be careful with it, but it definitely is in an uptrend. All right, let's get on to, all right. Oh, you must have did something because you stopped me from clicking. Click, Joey. Oh, it's still not working. All right, let's get to my next story. Woo. Folks, again, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, folks. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, especially if you like what you see so far. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button. I've only got 91 likes. I always like to run away with at least 100 likes if we can. Let's see if we can get up to at least 100 likes. All right, if you like what, folks, if this is worth it to you, if it's worth your time, hit the like button. If it's worth your time, hit the like button. All right, what's my next story? My next story is on my stocks of interest. I always have stocks that I'm going to keep my eyes on that catch my attention, and I want you to know about it. So why Microsoft's Activision Blizzard deal could be bad for gamers. I read the story, and I was like, blah, 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 blah. It talked about Take-Two and Zynga. Sony, meanwhile, it talked a lot about a lot of stuff. So, but you know what I like? I like to do the analysis in the software. Adam says, got to get a root canal. You're the best. Maybe later so I can watch. Give me your opinion on SJT is at. I own it. I'm taking a little bit of a move to the downside on it. I got stops in place, though. I still like the stock, but I'm not going to be afraid to take some of those profits off the table, Adam. I'm not going to be afraid. Don't be afraid to do it. All right? Just like a lot of these stocks that I've shown you today are exhibiting a lot of the same characteristics of either moving sideways or pulling back. SJT is in that same space. So don't be afraid to take profits off the table. And I'm probably going to look at the end of day graph on SJT to make a decision on what I want to do. But that's what I can tell you without looking at the stock itself, because I do personally own it. All right, what else? SoFi. We got into this in the Jockey Club this morning, our live day trading room. We're doing still well. SoFi gets key regulatory approval to join the growing list of fintechs becoming banks. I still think that when interest rates rise, banks are going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries behind it. All right, so that's big news behind SoFi. NVIDIA, trading well above historic valuation multiples. I think NVIDIA and MU, Micron, Taiwan Semi, a few of these stocks that are in this space are still doing well overall. We'll take a look at those. And last but not least, how many of you knew that Lord of Rings was coming out on Amazon? A new series of Lord of Rings was coming out on Amazon. Type a 1 in the room. If you did not know, type a 2 in the room. How many of you knew that a new series was only coming out on Amazon, a new Lord of the Rings series coming out on Amazon? Type a 1. If you did not know, type a 2. Curious. This could be big for Amazon, especially for Amazon Prime. Especially for Amazon Prime. And this could be a driver that pushes this stock higher. Thus, it is on my stocks of interest this week. A lot of 2s, a lot of 1s, but a lot of 2s. This could be, this is again on the Amazon Prime side, not the Amazon salesy side. But you know something? How many times have we seen good content come out on Netflix and push it higher? This could be a good thing for Amazon to push it higher. I guess that's, again, one of the reasons why I have this as one of my stocks. But a lot of 2s in here. A lot of people didn't know. All right, so it's going to specifically be on Amazon, so they're going to corner that. It's going to be interesting. So let me take a look at these stocks that I have on my list. All right, so I got Microsoft. Where's that at? I got Microsoft. I've got SoFi. You blow my mind. Ooh, SoFi. Blow my mind.
Crickets.
Huh?
Crickets.
Oh, I got to push the crickets. Joey wants me to push the crickets. Where's it at? Joey doesn't like my singing. Joey's a hater. That's why. Joey is such a hater. Now, interesting that my stop talking now. I don't want to talk to you anymore, Joey. Bah! All right. So, as I look at my stocks of interest, interesting that they fall towards the bottom of the list. Then why are you looking at these stocks, Glenn? Because a lot of these stocks are news-driven, and whether good or bad, I think I still want to bring them to your attention in case you didn't know. And Wayne says, yes, my precious, for the Lord of the Rings. How was that, Wayne? How was that, what's the word I'm looking for? Impersonation? Yeah. Of Precious. Yes, my precious. As I look at the stock market, I gotta love it. So how did you like that, Wayne? Was it good, bad, or indifferent? Let's take a look at these stocks. So these are my stocks of interest for whatever the reasons. I actually have a stop loss of 680. So he's talking about on SJT. That's good. Again, as long as you got a stop in place, make sure you do. All right. Microsoft, in their purchase of Activision, man, look at that. It's trying to run, but they're closed candles. So these are bearish, bullish candles. And right now, still below the value of our 20-day exponential moving average. So be careful with it. I love that it's starting to run. The volume is there. We'll keep our eyes on it. All right. Have a good day, Adam. All right. And Wayne liked it. It was a good impersonation, Joey. You just are a hater. Be careful with Microsoft. I think the news is enough to push it higher, but I think in the current market's conditions, it's being held back because of the market's conditions. What else? Wow, SoFi. We got into it. Again, how many people are here in the Jockey Club? How many people in this room are part of our live trading room, the Jockey Club? How many? Type a 1 in the room. If you are part of our live trading room, type a 1 in the room. Folks, if you're not part of the VectorVest software, we do have a live trading room every day from 9 a.m. till 10:30. From 9 a.m. until 10:30. If you're interested in watching one of 3 different people day trade, you need to sign up for a trial. 99 cents for a 30-day trial to the VectorVest real time. With a trial to real time, we'll get access to looking at what we do in our trading room. Look at those 1s coming across, all right? Love the move today on great volume. There's a wick at the top, but not as big as some of the other stocks that we've looked at. I think a lot of that is profit taking. A lot of that is profit taking more so than the bears pushing it down. But it got to a level of resistance of 1631. I think that if it gets above that level, it's got some upside possibility to the point of about $24. I like this stock because it's getting the designation of being a bank. I don't like the earnings growth, and the earnings are okay. I'm playing price action, and I'm playing the news behind it. It is the news. Now, when I look at NVIDIA, man, NVIDIA is getting beat like a rented mule. Hey, Joey, when's the last time you rented a mule?
Oh, that reminds me, I got to take it back today.
You got to take it back today. Now, Joey's, I'm going to give you applause. That was kind of fun. Maria, hold on. Look at that. Maria made over 40% on NVIDIA. Could have made more had I followed the 50% VectorVest stop criteria. Stops are so important to be in place at all times. Live to fight another day. Love that. Love that. Absolutely. And Maria is a subscriber to the VectorVest system. Is a subscriber. And you know something? I love to talk about the software and tell you how great it is. I love it when subscribers to the VectorVest software talk to you in the room, especially if you're not a subscriber to the VectorVest software. All right. I like the earnings per share. I don't think it's the right time to be in NVIDIA right now. But when it rocks and rolls, give me the Beat Boys and free my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Right now, it's drifting away. I would wait, and it's a sell recommendation. What's the next one? Amazon. Man, the news on this is not enough to move it. And look at the earnings per share and the earnings growth rate. Not there. Remember, these are stocks that catch my attention. Doesn't always mean that they're great stocks for you to get into, but they catch my attention. I want to talk about it because I know you're hearing about it. So from an analysis perspective, I'm not feeling Amazon right now. And I don't think that the news behind the new Lord of the Rings is enough to push it up yet. Right now, I'm not buying it. And that was my last stock. Joey, I'm right on time for you. Joey had somewhere he had to go pick up his kids today. So I told him that I would be doing the best that I could to get into and out of Trending Thursday on time for him. He does everything for me that he can. It was my opportunity to give back to him to go pick up his kid. So we're going to end Trending Thursday right on time. Trending Thursday is supposed to end about 3 o'clock, but I run it until about 3:30. What's the VectorVest stop on NVIDIA? I'll do that real quick. I know, Joey. Don't get mad at me. If you go to put up NVIDIA.
You got about 10 minutes.
Okay, NVIDIA. Let's go put that up. Every stock in our database, again. Huh? Oh, yeah. Every stock in our database has a stop price. I remember I talked to you about that 99 cents. If you want to look at what our VectorVest stop price is on a stock, let's go put that on. Do I not have it? There it is. It's a 13-week moving average adjusted for the fundamentals in the stock. When the stock is fundamentally sound, we will lower that stop price to keep you in that stock longer. Notice that at this time, what's the relative value and relative safety? This stock was fundamentally sound. As it gets closer and closer, the fundamentals are still there. Even though the fundamentals are starting to wane a little bit, the stock's price falls through the stop price. Still fundamentally sound, but the stop is your line in the sand. No matter how good fundamentally it is, once the stop goes below that stop price, it's time to get out. So there you go. That was a great question. Who asked me? Mark, that was a great question. And during your 99-cent trial for 30 days, you can get a stop price on every stock you own. We'll do it for Lowe's. All right, that's going to be my last one because Joey really does have to go. You want to see where the stop price? How about Lowe's being a great stock, currently getting close to its stop? Once your stock's price goes below the stop price, folks, that's a good time to close it out, no matter how good it is. There you go, Randy. It's right there. And again, Randy, if you're not a subscriber to the software, you want to see what the stop value is on any of your stocks, 99 cents gives you access to a 30-day trial, 99 cents. You can put your stop. So now everybody on here has the opportunity to know when to get out of a stock. How about Sharon? I made 125% on NVIDIA. Unfortunately, gave back 25%. Steve said at least 10 times that NVIDIA must be on your portfolio, so I bought it and hold on tight. There you go. I got 123 likes. You guys are awesome. I wanted to get 100. You guys gave me 123. That means I was worth your time today, and that's all that I can ask for. That's all that I can ask for is for this session that you watched today was worth you taking the time out to come here. And if you haven't hit this subscribe button, again, I invite you to do that again. Please do. My job is to have fun, but I want to inform you on what's going on. Let me help you make great decisions going into 2022. Without VectorVest, I felt naked. Randy, I don't want to visualize that. All right. So I got to go. All right. Joey's got to go get his kid. Thank you again, Joey, for being awesome, even though you couldn't do jackbone diddly. He made me do it all on my own. I was so scared. I was so scared because I'm becoming a boomer. I don't know how to do anything technical. So with that, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha. To all my peeps in Hawaii. Todd Scenes, shalom, salam, namaste. I got myself all out of whack. Namaste, yasu. Until next time, folks. See ya.
We didn't talk about this part. Mute yourself. Now change your scene to hit cam scene. Oh, mute me.